Right. You know, that brought me to a conversation we had had earlier, and it's kind of a conversation when we talk about different beliefs. And you and I had talked about, you know, obviously I brought some representations. You know,
Yep.
obviously the angel of Christian beliefs, the netter, right, of North African beliefs, Kemet, and then the Greek representation of Zeus. And now we all know that the Greek pantheon was heavily borrowed from African belief systems, right? Zeus being like a representation of Amon, right? Or the soldier. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, but remember, no, it was called in the beginning. It was called, uh, Zeus Amon.
Zeus
Or okay,
Amon.
or
Mm-hmm.
yes, okay. So the connection to Ammon
Mm-hmm.
was important, but when you see, but it was separate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to connect him to something, right? We want to have our own representation of what something looks like to us.
Mm-hmm.
But if you see Ammon,
Mm-hmm.
so you're representing him as a form of a man.
Yeah.
No, he's in a representation as a form of nature.
Right.
But that's what I mean. But when you separate Zeus, now he looks just like a man.
Right. Right. We had
that looks like us.
We had a comment real quick. Zeus Marduk. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, yes, I'm very familiar with Marduk. Yes.
Okay. Now, okay. I thought Marduk was a demon or a dark figure.
And again, you're connecting deities.
Right.
Okay. This is two deities connecting.
Right. Okay.
See, so that's what I mean about separation.
Right. Shout out to Great Blackness, by the way. Thank you for joining us again.
Thank you very much for joining us. Well. Absolutely, 100%. So that's why I love Hawthorne. Go ahead.
Okay. Something you had mentioned was the humanization, and you and I had talked about when we looked at a lot of the Greek stories. They were very humanized. The gods were jealous. They were lustful. They actually committed. I mean, Zeus was actually not a very righteous figure, and neither were the other two heads of the Greeks. You're talking Poseidon. We're talking Hades. All of them. One thing that I had pointed out is they have this tendency to take women. Right. That was something that we saw in that belief system. We also saw it in the early stories from Christian beliefs with the stories of the fallen angels. Why do we not see a similar type of story when we talk about North African beliefs or we talk about Kemetic beliefs? We didn't see that.
Because what you're looking at, again, is all about balancing nature.
Mm-hmm.
Balancing. The idea of balance is how all things exist.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have something that's, for an example, if you did not have, if you didn't have Ma'at, breath will be taken from you.
Right, okay.
When a baby comes out, when the baby's born, and of course is able to breathe on its own,
mm-hmm.
and it's outside, right, it comes out of darkness into light.
Right.
Then it's cut from the umbilical cord and is able to breathe on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'at.
Right.
Okay. When the baby's in mama for the 9 months of gestation till the baby is born,
mm-hmm.
Ma'at. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So everything has to have balance. Imagine if you had those kinds of stories.
Right.
Then you have unbalance. Then you have chaos.
Right.
Then you have complications
mm-hmm.
and other problems.
Yeah.
So you could not have that unless because remember now, when we're talking about Hathor, it's talking about Ma'at, it's talking about, right, birth, life-giving, right? Nourishment, right? All these different types of things. And all those things have to have life.
Yeah.
They have to have balance in order for life to exist.
Right. And again, we can look at that imagery of Hathor. We see all these natural symbols, right? The solar disk, we know what that's an example of. And her nature was like that of the cow, in that she was 100%. A nurturer, right? So that's what we're seeing when we see her made up like this.
Yes. And that's exactly the whole point of it. You must have the existence of life is in every single thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you're talking about these stories of mythology, they're talking about stuff that the Greeks have. They're not talking about that.
Right.
They're not talking about the balance of the existence of life.
Yeah.
What they're talking about, right, is everything that already coexists.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Chronos, right, has shown that everything coexists. We're not talking about life and creation of birth, and we're not talking about the natural force.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So that's what they're not talking about. But us, it's all over our walls and how we live life.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you're not connected to the connection of the universe or connected to the cosmos, then what you have is nothingness.
Right. Right.
Okay. So how do you explain that out of the Greek pantheon? Okay, where it's very different from African traditions and belief systems.
Right. I mean, because it's almost hard to look at Zeus as being a redeeming figure. I mean, the stuff that he did, he cheated my man Memnon, right?
Well, no, what he did was he wanted to interfere in the battle because he wanted Troy to fall.
Right. Was there an offense? Was there an offense that Troy had done that introduced his revenge against him or his actions against him?
Well, yeah, but that was because, that was like, they say here's a breach of relationship, right? That's kind of what it was all about. But truly, Priam was the king of Troy, right? And of course, that is the case, but. Right, you're going above and beyond where you want the whole entire kingdom to fall.
Right.
Okay, this is a form of revenge.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
And that is complete unrighteous behavior.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what Eos was saying. She said, "My son is more righteous than some of you gods."
Right.
When he's more righteous than them, what does that tell?
Yeah.
Okay. That is saying, again, we're going back to Ma'at. We're going back to what we know righteousness and ethic and morality is to be.
Right.
This is not him. Okay? This is why he revives Midnight.
Yeah.
This is why he says, you're right. I got my way.
Yeah.
Right? Like a child, right, who can't get their way, they pop right and have their temper tantrums.
Yeah.
Okay? And so I got my way. Memnon should live again.
Yeah.
Right? After you cheated, he dies, now you will revive him again.
Right.
In other words, I'm going to try to cover up this mistake I made.
Yeah.
Right? Because now your mistake has been exposed. And and not only her, but everybody else is looking at you with suspicion.
Right.
Okay? And that's what that's all about. We want to possibly dethrone you. Right? Because you're a cheater, right?
Yeah.
You did these things, right?
Yeah.
And you're unright. Okay, this is not African people. This is not Memnon's mother.
Yeah.
This is not Memnon. This is everything else that's not like them. It's completely different. You see what I'm saying? This is what makes us different and set apart in this way.
Right. One of the interesting things, so when we look at the Greek story, and I think it starts with was it Uranus, then Cronus, right?
Yeah.
Is a procession, and then Zeus. And each father was fighting to keep his reign.
Again, man, it's a political battle, man, of all has to do with position.
Yeah. So what does that say about
words,
the father-son relationship then?
Right. Everybody doesn't want to, it's like, here's your place. You stay in it.
Right.
No, I want your spot.
Right. It's very human.
Right. This is what I mean by human behavior.
Right.
This is not nature. Nature is always trying to survive in the very existence that it is.
Right.
Okay? The crocodile doesn't say, I want the lion spot.
Right. Yeah.
See what I mean? And this is all what I'm talking about. This is how humans behave.
Yeah.
And that's why it is so destructive.
Yeah.
Right? But this is not nature in a sense. That's why we cared more about that than anything else. Because people fighting over spots and positions, man, right? Then you got treachery going on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And all these other things. This is what happened. Okay. And Ramesh III, right? The inner court wanted to have him assassinated.
Yeah.
Even his son.
That's Great Blackness went right to the point that they had human personalities the son trying to overthrow the father, but yes. and then the mother is crucial, and they have to conspire against the father. Right. That is very much against nature, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And they knew that could not be tolerated.
Right. It's detrimental to the kingdom, to the people.
Well, because when you have an inner, remember now.
Yeah.
This is the last great Nasut, Biti.
Yeah.
Of the 20th dynasty. After that, right, everything just started to tank after that and go down.
Right.
Okay. When Pianki tried to revive and save it, by this time it was all about the South at that point, because the North had already been pretty much there's nothing there left after that.
Stripped down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything after the 20th dynasty, right, is all about people just fighting over scraps, if you will.
Right.